Hello friends, welcome to the second lecture of the laws of motion. Today's topic which we are going to discuss is Newton's first law. Newton, he gave three laws, right, which mostly govern the day-to-day activities that we undergo in our life. So all the activities that we do, they all can be justified, reasoned out on the basis of Newton's law. So we'll first see what does his first law states, then we'll go on to the second law and then on to the third law. So first law, its statement is every body will continue its state of rest or motion unless acted upon by some external force. This is what it is. This is which we feel in our everyday life. Now what does this statement mean? Every body will continue. What it will continue? It will continue its state of rest. So let's say I am at rest, so I will continue at rest unless acted upon by some external force, unless someone comes and push me. External force may be given by some other person, maybe by the strong winds blowing, right? Maybe some object falling from the sides on me, right? Let us see once again. I will continue my state of rest unless some external force acts on it, right? Unless some external body push me, right, to make me move. Let us say I move with my legs. Then is it the first law valid? Obviously yes. When I start walking, right, when I start walking, external force is applied by the ground on me. I apply force on the ground and in turn ground also apply force on me. So some external force by the ground makes me walk. Let us see another reason, right? We'll see with the help of the example. The first example will take ball lying at rest on the ground. So let us say you keep a ball, maybe a small ball or a football on the ground. So it will lie there as it is. If you go to sleep and get up next morning, will ball change its place? Obviously no, right? So just observe here, every body will continue its state of rest. Now why did ball continue its state of rest? Why did not change its position? The reason is there was no external force for the ball to change its position. Now let us say you kick it. So you are the external force now who has kicked it, and so the ball has changed the position. Let us look at this example once again. Ball lying at rest on the ground. So you kept a ball right on the surface and you went to sleep. Next day morning you got up and found that ball was there as it is. Is Newton's first law valid here? Yes. Because throughout the night there was no external force. There is no, there was no one who kicked the ball or who moved the ball. There was no external force, right? And still the ball will continue to lie there until and unless someone picks it up or someone kicks it up, right? So that is what the first law states, that every body will continue in state of rest or motion unless acted upon by some external force. Let us look into the second example to understand the first law. Ball rolling on ground comes to rest. What is the external force here, right? So just look into the second example, ball rolling on the ground. So let's say you kick the ball, so ball will roll on the ground. As per the Newton's first law, it should continue its motion unless some external force stops it, right? So ball rolling on the ground, right here on the earth's surface, when we kick a ball will start rolling. Will it keep on rolling and rolling and rolling forever? No. It will roll for some distance and then comes to stop. Then the question arises, What is the external force which has stopped the ball? So the answer is frictional force. Answer is frictional force due to ground. Right? It is in the contact with the ground. So ground applies frictional force because of which ball comes to stop. If the same situation happens in the space, that is outside the earth. So outside the earth into the space, if you throw a ball, then obviously ball will go on and go on. It will never stop for years, for centuries. It will not stop because there is no external force which will stop it until and unless someone like God comes and picks it up. Right? So in space there is no friction. Hence the motion will continue. Let us look into the third example to understand the Newton's first law. So, book lying on table. So let's say I keep a book here on the table. It will continue state of rest, obviously yes, unless someone comes and picks it up. Either you will pick it up, or your parents, or maybe teacher, or maybe your kids, maybe your brother and sister may pick it up. So again the first law is valid here. A book lying on the table will continue in state of rest, right, until and unless someone comes and pick it up. That someone is an external force. So I hope now you are very clear with the Newton's first law. Then next we have the topic inertia. Next topic is inertia. What do we mean by inertia? I-N-E-R-T-I-A, inertia. So to define in words, what does the inertia mean? Inertia means it is intrinsic property of mass. In place of word intrinsic, you can also use basic word, the word basic. However, the word basic is the easy one and intrinsic looks somewhat sophisticated. So it is intrinsic property of a word. What do we mean by intrinsic property? What do we mean by basic property? So let us understand what exactly these words mean. When I say human beings, what comes to your mind? When I say human beings, what comes to your mind? Definitely you visualize that okay, if someone is human beings, he will have 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nose, 2 lips, 1 mouth, 1 tongue, right, 10 fingers. So that is what you visualize when I say something about the human being. Same thing here, when we say a body has a mass, then definitely it has an inertia. By default, if the body has mass, by default it has inertia. Now let us see what exactly does the inertia means. So inertia means property to resist change. Change in what? Change in rest. Change in, I will write down here, change in state of rest, right? Change in state of motion. Change in state of direction. This is what the inertia means. Inertia means property to resist change in state of rest, state of motion, state of direction. So these are the 3 important points regarding inertia. We will discuss out first the state of rest. Right? The first point we will discuss is about the state of rest. So that is what the inertia means. Inertia means property to resist change in state of rest, state of motion and state of direction. Now let us see what do we mean by state of rest. So the topic will be inertia of rest. Inertia of rest. Now the word inertia means property to resist. To resist what? There should be no change in the rest. I am here at rest. So what will be? I have a mass also. So I have, by default I have inertia also. So what will I do? I will oppose the change in rest. I will never like to make myself in motion. If I am in motion, right, I will oppose to come to rest. And if I changing my direction, then again I will oppose the change in the direction or change in something else. So let us see what exactly it means by opposition to change the state of rest. The best example to understand this is have you observed this? You are sitting in a bus and suddenly bus starts, so you feel a backward jerk. You are sitting on a scooter and as soon as the scooter starts, you are sitting at the back, right? Driver, as soon as he starts riding a scooter, you feel a backward jerk. You are sitting in a car suddenly starts, again you feel a backward jerk. You also feel like when it brakes, you feel a forward jerk. So what it is? Why do we feel such type of the jerk? So here, passenger in a bus at a rest feels a backward jerk when bus starts moving. This happens in order of inertia of rest. Person sitting in a bus was at the rest. By default, his mental conditions, his physical conditions are at rest. When suddenly bus starts moving, it takes fraction of second. It takes a very small interval of time for a body, for a mind to realize that okay, the objects have come in motion, the bus has come in motion, so obviously you are in a bus, you also have to move. So for such realization by mind, by body, it takes some fraction of time, and during that fraction of time, what does the body think, what does the mind think? The body thinks that it is obviously at rest, and so he feels a backward jerk. But by the time the body feels a backward jerk, mind and body realizes that the motion has started and then the jerk disappears. Let us see once again. Passenger in a bus at rest feels backward jerk when bus starts moving. So passenger sitting in a bus, right? As soon as bus starts moving, he will feel a backward jerk. Why? Because the bus was standing still, it was at rest for a long time. So by default, the body, right, mind, the body, by default, it is in the rest condition. Now as soon as bus starts, body, mind, it takes some fraction of time to realize that motion has started. And during that fraction of time, right, we feel a backward jerk. So, and during that time interval, by the time body realizes, the jerk disappears. So that is what it means, inertia of the rest. Passenger feels a backward jerk when the bus starts suddenly moving. We can also take another example for the inertia of the rest, that is, when carpet is jerked, dust flies off. Obviously, yes, when we dust a carpet, right, we see dust flying off. Why that happens? So that again happens due to inertia of rest. It happens due to inertia of rest. Carpet, when you hang it, carpet as well as dust particles, they are at rest. When you beat the carpet, carpet takes a new position. But dust particles, what? As I said, it takes some time to realize that the motion has started. So dust particles, they don't realize instantly. They take some time to realize that motion has started. And during this time, carpet moves to the new position, dust particle remains as it is. Because of the motion of air, the dust particles flies away. That is the reason why when the carpet is jerked, dust flies off. What will you write down a simple reason for this question? So answer will be, when a carpet is jerked, dust flies off. That means, question is something like this, that why dust flies off when carpet is jerked. So it is because when the carpet is jerked, carpet takes a new position. Dust particles, on the account of inertia of rest, remains at their position, as a result of which they fly away along with the air, and hence dust flies off. That is what is the answer to the inertia of the rest. There are some more discussions based on the inertia of the rest. Yes, fruits fall when branch of tree is shake suddenly, right? Now here again the thing is to notice if these things doesn't happen suddenly or it takes a very long time, then you will never feel a jerk. Let's say the third example. Let's say you take a branch and you shake it slowly. What happens? If you shake a branch very slowly, will fruits fall down? Never. Because in that condition, fruits get sufficient time to realize the motion and so they don't get detached. But when you jerk suddenly, what happens? Branch takes a new position, but fruits being in the inertia of the rest, right? Fruits on the account of inertia of the rest continue their position. They continue their position as a result of which they fall down, right? So fruits fall when the branch of the tree is shaken suddenly. So as soon as you shake the branch of a tree, right, the branches take a new position. Fruits, they remain in their position as a result of which they fall down. So that is the discussion about the inertia of rest. Now let us look into the inertia of motion. Inertia of motion. Again, what explanation you can write down here, that it is a property of a body to oppose the change in state of motion. Inertia of rest also you can write down similar words, that it is a property of a body to oppose the change in state of rest, right? Here the bodies are opposing the change of rest. Now here bodies will oppose the change in the motion, just exactly opposite of this. So let us look at the example. Example 1. Passenger feels forward jerk when, you can take bus, car, or you can say vehicle, stops suddenly, right? Obviously yes, you were going in a car and the car brakes suddenly, what happens? You feel a forward jerk. By feeling a forward jerk, you will hurt yourself, you will break your nose and face, and that is the reason why it is always suggested that when you are in a car or in a vehicle, you should put up a seat belt. So in case of the sudden braking, you will not fall forward. Let us see this example. Passengers feel a forward jerk when bus or car vehicle stops suddenly. So again the reason is on the account of inertia of motion, on account of inertia of motion, right? Body continue its state of motion and hence feel forward jerk. Simple, right? I was continuing my state of motion, car or vehicle brakes suddenly, again the body will take some time to realize that it has come to stop, and during that time body will feel a forward jerk. If the same situation is done very politely, very slowly, that means car breaks down very slowly, right? Then you will never realize a jerk, because the body gets a sufficient time for the adjustment. When the sudden changes are done, body does not get sufficient time for the adjustment, hence body feels either forward jerk or a backward jerk. Here in this case body feels a forward jerk, right? That is the inertia of motion. And if the car was at a very high speed and the braking is done very instantly, then the person sitting in the front, driver next to him, they may fly, breaking the windshield outside the car. It happens during the time of accidents. That is the reason why seat belts are compulsory. Another example, athlete takes a long run before taking a jump. Let's say someone is participating in a long jump. So what does he do? Does he stand still and then jumps? No. Person gives a long run to give a jump. Why? Because in taking a long run, person brings his body into inertia of motion, as a result of which he may jump a longer duration. Right? Once again I'll repeat. Athlete takes a long run before taking a jump, because by doing so he brings his body into inertia of motion. He brings his body into inertia of motion, and so he can jump a longer distance. You can try this at home. You stand still and jump. I think hardly you will be able to jump half a meter. But when you take a long run and jump, definitely you will be able to take a 2 to 3 meters. So that is the physics here. Another example to understand the inertia of motion. It is advised to tie a seat belt in the moving vehicle. So obviously yes, it is always advised. So same answer will be there, right? It is always advised to tie a seat belt in a moving vehicle so that you may not fall down breaking a windshield. Any other good example? Yes. Then the third one we have is inertia of direction. Inertia of direction. So inertia of direction, it is just similar again. If you want, you can write down in words that it is property of a body to oppose change in direction. Right? Simple. When a car takes a sharp turn, you feel a sideways jerk. Right? So best example will be side jerk is felt when car takes a sharp turn. When car takes a sharp turn. So as soon as car takes a sharp turn, right, you feel a sideways jerk. Mostly it happens in the mountain areas, right? When you are passing through a valley, because of the sharp turns, climbings, right? Buses, they are in a high speed. So during that high speed, when you take a turn, you feel a sideways jerk. Depending upon the speed, the jerk may be small or a less. So again, the reason is same. On the account of inertia of direction, right, body feels a sideways jerk when the car or vehicle takes a sudden turn. That is it for today. We'll continue in the next class. If you have liked the lecture, please comment, share, subscribe. Thank you.